What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Ethan's Exotic Escapades. Today we are going to be talking about how to properly tame and handle a Golden Tegu. I got asked in the comments if I can make this video for somebody, so this one's for you. If anyone else ever wants me to make a video for them, just leave it down in the comments below. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. If you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe to join the tribe. And let's go ahead and head back in time. I got my Golden Tegu from a Repticon, and he was about 2 months old whenever I first got him. And I was told that Golden Tegus are typically aggressive and advised to not get this Golden Tegu, but I decided, you know what, I'm gonna get it anyway. This is a video of when I first got him and fed him for the first time in his enclosure. Before taming your Tegu, you should leave it inside of its enclosure alone for 2 weeks. You still need to feed them and give them water. This is just so that they can get used to their new enclosure. The first 2 weeks of feeding, you should stay around and watch them eat so that they can get used to you being around whenever they're eating. The most important rule when you're first starting to handle them is to never force them to come out. This means if they bury themselves, don't unbury them, and if they go into a hide like the one in this video, don't lift it up and force them to come out. If you do this, they'll most likely think you're a predator and try and attack you, or it'll terrify them. It's super important that you're making sure that they're coming to you instead of you forcing them to come to you. So you're probably thinking, how will I be able to get my Golden Tegu out? Well, there's just one simple answer for that. Lure them with food. I started using eggs to help lure mine out, and I also use blueberries. Using food is the best way to lure your Tegu out. Use food to lure them into something that they can fit their entire body in. In this video, I'm using a large plant saucer that I got from Walmart. Once they're in it almost all the way, you can pick them up and move them into an enclosed space. This is Maximus once I picked him up and brought him into the bathroom. I personally think the bathroom is the best place to do this. When they're young, they should be eating every single day, so I would make sure and try and do this every day. From now on, I would make sure that they eat their food in an enclosed space with you. Just make sure you're sitting down and not moving super fast. After they finish eating, they'll start trying to explore like my guy is in this video. You should try and have them out for 30 minutes to an hour a day. Another very important thing you should do is make sure that you let your Tegu initiate contact with you first. Don't just start picking them up. They will eventually start climbing you and not see you as a threat anymore. After a couple of weeks of me having Maximus, I decided I was going to let him come downstairs and play on the couch. Just make sure you're always paying attention because they will try and climb away. Let's just say Golden Tegus love to climb. I also wrapped him in a blanket. Another method that I used to help tame my Golden Tegu was to give him a soak in the bathtub. I would first start off like I normally would, where I would get his favorite food and lure him out of his hut. After luring your Tegu out, you use the same method as before, except this time you put the bowl or whatever you have them in the bathtub. After you have them in the bathtub, you can let them finish eating before you start running the bath water. I let Maximus soak once a week for 30 minutes. Once they've gotten used to you being around while they've been eating, you can start trying to pet them. You should always make sure you're very gentle and not too rough. Use 1 or 2 fingers at the beginning, and then if they allow you, you can use more. I think it's best to pet downwards rather than upwards. If they seem to be handling the petting well, then I would start trying to hold them. While they're soaking in the bathtub, you can gently put your hand under their belly and slowly lift them up. All you're trying to do here is support their weight, not pushing down. And don't be alarmed if they turn to an alligator. All Tegus are very smart and curious creatures, so they will definitely try and check you out as much as they can. After a while, they'll even want uppies like mine. After their bath, you can try and get them out by using your hand and seeing if they're interested in climbing up. If they're not, then I wouldn't stress too much about this. I would get something that they can use as a ramp to climb up. But if they are showing interest in trying to climb up, then you can help them out like I do in this video.
Come on.
When you're picking them up, make sure you support their belly and their tail. Not doing this can stress them out. When you're picking up your tegu, make sure you don't just pick them up and grab them, and you're going as slow as you can. Make sure you remember to always go slow. And it's always best to start by petting first. Golden tegus do prioritize body temperature, so they will try and get under your shirt like Maximus is doing in this video. You should stop trying to handle them if they're whipping their tail or lunging at you. If they're huffing or opening their mouth, don't be scared. You can still try and handle them, just go extra slow. Always make sure you're not grabbing their tail and you're just placing your hand under it to support it loosely. Make sure that you're not squeezing them when you're picking them up. After a couple weeks, they'll be really used to you and they'll want to climb all over you. They'll think that you're a jungle gym because mine thinks I am. To get them back into their enclosure, pick them up slowly and walk them back into their enclosure, supporting their tail and their stomach, and then let them walk right off of your hand. It's also very important to maintain the temperature and humidity in your enclosure because this can also cause them to be stressed. I also hope you like wearing your tegu as a hat because they will definitely climb on top of your head. Here's him climbing up and posing for the camera for y'all. Oh, he really did strike a pose. Another thing that can cause your tegu distress is if you're not giving them enough food or water. This can cause them to be aggressive and harder to tame. Some tegus like getting water poured on their head. I don't know if mine does. Sometimes he fights with the cup. But eventually he always shows that cup who's boss. Though it may take a while. Don't laugh at your tegu like me. They get embarrassed.
Oh, you're funny.
One other thing you need to watch for when taming a golden tegu is how fast they can climb. I looked away for 1 second and he climbed all the way up here on this curtain. I couldn't believe it. He's a monkey. After a while, I decided to show my dog Anakin Maximus. He seemed to like him. After taming and handling Maximus for a couple months, he started to come out every single time I stepped into the room. Now he'll even knock on the glass to let me know that he wants out. I'm sure yours will too. If you want to, you can even get a hiding hut for them in the enclosed space so that they can have somewhere else to go. Maximus wasn't too interested, but maybe yours will be. Another thing you shouldn't do is yell at your tegu. Loud noises can scare your tegu and make them freak out. Another thing tegus will do when they're walking and crawling all over you is they'll try and get behind your back. If they get behind your back, you need to make sure that you don't lay down and squish them. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you, mine does it a lot, so I'm sure yours will too. Typically, Maximus's favorite spot is on top of my shoulder, like in this video. I also tried hand feeding Maximus, but I would not recommend for you to do this with yours. They can easily mistake your hand for food and accidentally bite it. Just remember, whenever you're giving food to them, make sure your hands don't smell like fruit or anything that they would be eating. Let's just say I got bitten one time that way, and I learned my lesson. Another thing about golden tegus is they have sharp nails, so if you don't want to get cut up, I'd wear long sleeves and gloves. But if it doesn't bother you like me, then you don't have to wear either. Sometimes tegus might not like gloves. Maximus doesn't. If your golden tegu does happen to bite you, don't freak out. Make sure that you don't sling them off of you and that you let them release on their own. Trying to pull them off might make them latch on harder and not let go. And another thing, if you get bitten, you need to make sure you wash the area that was bitten. That way it won't get infected. If you're wanting to hand feed your Golden Tegu, I recommend you just do this instead. Use a cup. One of the last things you're going to have to worry about is how they love to jump. So you always need to be ready and try and catch them if you can, because they can injure themselves if they jump and hit something too hard. The last thing that I want to say to y'all is even when they are older and they become an adult, you still have to handle them. I make sure to handle Maximus almost every day, and you need to continue to do so that they remain tame. You should take them out at least a couple times a week. That's going to do it for today. Thanks for watching this exotic escapade. I hope this video was helpful for those who needed it. And if you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe to join the tribe, and I'll see you on the next one.